Hey, what's up, guys? It's Citywokcitywall here, and this episode of Little France, I'm doing a build, and also next episode, so pretty exciting stuff for me at least, maybe for you too, Skib.
Hey, welcome, buddy, and hello, everyone. Yes, definitely, I'm very anxious to see what you did. I'm anxious to see your European-ish French skills. I believe it's the first time when you do an European build, right?
Yeah, I've never attempted, even like playing vanilla City Skylines when I played that like a really long time ago. I did not even close to attempt making anything French or European or anything like that. So this was a first for me. It was pretty fun, to be honest.
It's this is very funny for me as well because I feel like I'm an ancient priest, like in Age of Empires, those little priests that are trying to convert people.
Yes, I know them very well.
You and also $2, both of you never built something European, and now here you are, your turn to do something like that. So I feel like a little priest that converts people into, hey, you come and do an European build, which by the way reminds me I have to do something American style too very soon.
Yeah, you do actually. That'd be pretty fun. So you just saw me like destroy your tram line and make it into like a little bit of a vertical or an elevated tram line just for a bit here, because I'm basically trying to do a little bit of an homage to this one spot in Paris that's along the river, and it's basically like the one time I went to Paris, there's like a nightclub here, and there's a train station around it, and so this is the train station that I went to like 3 different times because we kept trying to get into this nightclub and weren't allowed in. And they have this really cool thing there where there's this metro line that goes through like the upper parts of this train station in a very similar way as this. So I wanted to kind of do a little copy of that. And so like what you're seeing right now is there's this like very cool metal thing that's in that actual place that is like the entrance for where this train goes into the building. And so I used some jetway bridges from like an airport pack that Skib had, and made them blue and kind of use some PO to make them look like, I don't know, like what is this, metal trussing or something like that. So this was a pretty cool part of the build, I think, that we're watching right now.
To be honest, I have to tell everyone, after you send me some screenshots during your build, and also afterwards when I load the Little France for the first time after your build, I had to look at all these kind of things, and I was like, what the hell? Where did you find all these kind of things? How did you do this entrance and so on? And I'm surprised. I told you on Discord as well, man. I'm very surprised the way you found inspiration of doing this. And you found, the way you've changed everything you used there to make that entrance and exit from the train station. It's really impressive. And you
to be honest, like I was just browsing through the props that you had, which was like incredibly useful because you have so many props and things that I'm not subscribed to, and so I spent so long like scrolling through the props and trying to see what you had and putting a bunch of stuff off to the side that like maybe I would use, maybe I wouldn't use. So that was kind of fun, and I actually got a bunch of Mars assets from you as well, like just stuff that you were subscribed to. I was like, hey, this would be pretty useful in Mars, So I think that was like a big part of being able to figure out how to do that, was just like I spent forever looking through the props.
Well, yeah, I believe it's quite hard when you have to work on someone else's save game and to work with his collection, because even though you probably know most of the assets props because you've used them in other projects and so on, but you don't know actually what that person has in the collection, and you have to take it from scratch and look through all these kind of things and so on, and it makes the work a tiny bit harder. If it's your collection, then it's easy, you know already to what you subscribed, even though if you think about it, if you subscribe to something and like 3 weeks later you forget what you have there, it happens, at least to me it happens.
Yeah, because this is the first time I've like worked in someone else's save game even, and I was not really expecting that to be like something that would take forever to do, is like look through those props and stuff, you know. I didn't even occur to me, so it was like kind of nice because I did find like a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't have found otherwise, but at the same time it was like really took a while, especially because you don't have that mod that like increases the size of the what's it called, like the find it window or whatever. You only work with one row of stuff, so it takes so long to scroll through the thing.
Yeah, well, that's how I'm used to use the find it toolbar there. I'm still finding it very easy to work with that like that, and not with more rows, as you said. I don't know why. Probably something that I'm
Do
just...
you not like spend a long time browsing through those windows?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but usually it's okay, because if you think about it, I'm not searching for an empty, or I'm just pressing like the S button or A letter, and then I'm looking through all props assets that starting with the A letter. I'm typing a longer word or the name of the creator and so on, and I find stuff easier. I mean, if I search metal, I will find some stuff with metal, but there are not so many in order to feel it like it's necessary to have like 5 rows or 10 rows or so on. But again, it is just something that I'm just used to it in time, and I rarely do it easily to change my way of doing stuff. When it's easier, yeah, I'm doing it, but for now I still find it's okay for me to search it like this. I prefer to have the other mode. How is it called? More beautification. How it was more
yeah, but you can't really use that mod anymore.
Well, to be honest, I don't know if you can use it anymore, but at least that one was giving like a crazy FPS to your game. But otherwise...
Yeah, I remember I had it for a while and it was insane. Like trying to open up one of those windows would take like 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that's... that would have been cool, but also you have to scroll there too as well, a lot into the beautification panel, and still the same thing. But anyways, yeah, hope you should have subscribed to the other mode to make it easier for your...
I know. It's just I was already doing it that way, and I was like, you know what? I'm playing in Skib's world. You know, I might as well really get the full experience. So,
anyway, you did it. You found the European style easy or pleasant, or?
Well, to be honest, like it didn't. I felt more like I was mimicking Google Maps more than I was like playing in a particular style. Like I was really taking a lot of inspiration from Google Maps for this build. Like I had it open the entire time, and I wasn't like copying like, okay, this area is next to this area, like how do I get a building that looks exactly like this? I was more like trying to find elements of the areas and be like, okay, I got like these types of props that could be sort of similar to this thing that's going on in the real world, and trying to mix and match and fill in different areas in different ways, and get sort of like the vibe of the real area without it being like a one-to-one copy. So that was like really fun. I've never built that way before ever, and maybe I would do it again in the future, to be honest. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, well, I always when you try something something new, even sometimes you stay away from it, like I'm doing with an American style build or something. I don't know why I'm staying away still from doing a build like that, but probably when I will do it, it will be super fun, and I will probably kind of like it a lot. Who knows? So probably it's the same way for you in this case. I see you are adding like a crazy amount of detailing here. This station is working? The one from below?
No, I connected it up to the train lines that you have going to the outside of the city.
Yeah.
But I think there's something weird going on with your trains in Little France, and so I couldn't quite get trains coming in and out of it quite yet. And I also like I told you this over Discord earlier. I detailed that area like a lot more than what you just saw, and some of the props that I took from like other parts of Little France. I like was browsing around Little France and I was seeing how you were doing stuff, and I copied and pasted some props. And then I went back over there and I noticed there was like something like really wrong with the city. And I was like, oh my God, did I just like ruin Little France? And I like quit the game without saving it because I was like, you know what, that detailing that I did was not worth it. If I ruined Little France, like I need to just like quit right now. And so I lost a bunch of detailing that I did there. And turns out, as you said, I didn't do anything that was already like that, and so I just lost that detailing that I did, and so there was a little bit of lost work, but either way, the train station still didn't work when I did that. It just I made it look a little bit better than it is now.
You should have saved differently, at least on to make a special save or something.
I know. I was like freaking out though. I was like so worried that I had like ruined Little France.
Yeah, probably when these kind of things happen, when someone passes the save game to someone, even though here I'm passing the entire account, which should make this kind of much more easier. This way, as soon as you change your account on Steam, everything is going to be automatically downloaded and so on. But there is like an extra thing there. Some mods, many needs a local setting to be done there for them to make them work. But I don't think this will actually do any damage to the save game, to be honest. Probably are the local assets that I have. So somebody, probably at a point, forgot to copy paste these files, the local files, who knows, and I didn't check and I didn't know about them, but the missing things are not that bad, so that's good.
Oh boy.
It's okay for me. It's okay, it's no problem. I see you are tackling here a roundabout, which is really cool because I saw it on the map when I loaded the game, and I can also see how you did it. I like it. I really do like it. These little roundabouts.
Yeah, man. This is my first roundabout that I've ever detailed ever. I mean, I've made roundabouts like for vanilla City Skylines, but I've never like put decals down and like done the whole thing and made it look real nice. It was pretty fun, to be honest. Big change of pace. You can see I really put a lot of decals on this thing.
Yeah, I see that.
And I'm really using that technique of like lowering or raising the decals to get them like a little bit less intense.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the cool things.
And like those cobblestones, you saw there was like a little area where I couldn't quite get them to all line up perfectly, and so I used a bunch of crack decals to like fill in the gaps. You know?
Yeah, that's one. That one actually, it's an interesting way of doing this because you're not overlapping those cobblestone decals, and adding those damage decals down there, it kind of makes it pretty cool. It's a cool way of doing this without make it look bad when, because when you overlay decals, it goes crazy there.
Yeah, I'd imagine you'd normally do that with procedural object decals, right? And shape them perfectly or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another way of doing it. But cool idea. Anyways, cool idea. Really cool idea.
Yeah, I was trying to add a little grime to Little France, with things like that, and I was trying to bring a little bit of Mars grime to the city. So yeah, you saw me put some graffiti on those like train station walls earlier, and in the second part of this build, you'll see I do some more kind of like dirt areas and junk areas and things like that.
Well, I add graffiti as well. Little France in many places. I added like quite a few of them. I would add more, but it's kind of a tedious type of work when I have to do this. But it kind of fits, to be honest, at least in the European cities, and not only in the bigger cities. This kind of, it's something you see kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
From, if you ask me, it's sad.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, you see that in all over the world. Graffiti is very, very ubiquitous, I think. Any city has some graffiti, unless you're in maybe like North Korea or something.
Probably, yeah. I will not advise anyone else to do graffiti in that country.
No, definitely not. So yeah, now we're just working on like the front of this train station here. A while ago, you saw me like clip together. I don't. Maybe you know what this asset is? That like entranceway asset. That's like some sort of. I don't know what it is. It's like a park, but it just looks like a big door that I put there in the middle of all these residential buildings.
Ah, this one from here, that gate?
Yeah, that gate thing.
Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how it's called. It's a French type of tower/gate tower.
Took me a long time to find that. That was looking so long
Yeah.
for something like that, and I was really happy when I found it.
Yeah, see, that's what I was telling you about earlier. For instance, if you're looking for something like that, I would have typed gate. Yeah, sadly, many assets or props don't have the proper name,
Yeah.
and I don't know why. Why the creators make it harder. Sometimes you can find them on the workshop with the name like Tree of Heaven. I don't know, I'm just giving an example. And if you go in the game and you search for Tree of Heaven or anything like that, you'll not find it. And as soon as you find it, you'll see it has a name like toilet paper. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with the name. Why have you changed it?
Well, you use the find it tags, right? Like when you find that,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I do as well. When I am able to find those like assets that are named like really crazy things, I will like use the find it tags to tag it with like every single thing that I searched leading up to that moment, so that I can very easily find it next time.
Yeah, but I lose myself on these kind of things. I've tried to make some tags, for instance, to give a proper name for all these little details that you can add on roads, you know? So it's like making another collection inside the game. And I was like, hey, how should I name this road detailing? But I'm not going to type road detailing. Plus, I might find some extra stuff. So you can, I do like something like SS, I don't know, from Skibitth and Skibitth, God knows, SS, and then detail. But the thing is, I get bored eventually, and I said, I'm not gonna do this for all single props.
Oh yeah, well I don't do it all at once. Like I just do it as the issue comes up. Like I spend forever looking for something. I type a million things, can't find it. Eventually I do find it, and then I'm like, okay, this asset is named totally improperly. I need to just fix this asset and tag it with some stuff. So
Yeah,
you know, I don't go and sit there and tag everything in my entire collection at once. Okay, so this thing that we're working on is going to be a little hard to tell what's happening in this episode because I work a little bit on it now and a little bit on it later. But in Google Maps, there's like a parking lot entrance here that goes underground, and there's sort of like a very modern building above this kind of like curved roof cover thing that you're watching me build right now. And so I only get to this like underneath part this episode, and then the other episode I'll end up doing the area that's up above it. But this is like a parking lot under here, and so if you're like maybe dropping off someone at the train station, or you're a taxi and you're waiting to pick up someone, this whole like area under here, like this sunken down road that you're watching me build some stairs that lead down to, is like, you know, where you would idle your car or whatever. So this area I took almost exactly from Google Maps, actually, because there's a very similar thing going on with this train station in real life.
that one is pretty cool. I saw it as well in the game itself when I loaded. And again, man, you did quite some crazy stuff there. Even though you took inspiration from real life, but still, the amount of detailing and the amount of improvisations, I want to call them, like you did with the entrance from the train station, it's pretty cool. I mean, I try to use procedural objects to create, let's say, new stuff from existing stuff, because we don't have all kind of things in the game. But the way you kind of think of how to change stuff is pretty damn cool. And actually, you know what? I'm not surprised when I look at your Mars cities.
Well, like, what are you talking about, for example?
For example, I mean, you're looking on Google Earth, right? And you see you saw this train station, and then you probably saw that entrance. The entrance for the tram.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a cool thing. But then you say, okay, I want to do it in the game, and you probably look for stuff, but you find a way. I had to copy your stuff from there in a different place just to actually find out what the hell you used there, because I was like looking there and I was like, what's this? I never seen this. How did he get this in the game? Did he create a special asset and put it here?
Well, yeah, because I only told you I downloaded like 2 assets for this build, and they were both tents, so like it's not that for sure.
Yeah, but that was a thing for me. And then when I copied them and I was looking, and trust me, after I copied them, it took me some time until I figured out you were using those jet.
The jetway bridges or whatever.
Yeah, the bridges for the jet plane. Yeah, I was like, what's this? And what's with the color? Okay, he changed the color. I turned it into white, and I said, hey, I know what these are, because some of them were smaller and so on. Plus, you add there a lion statue.
Yeah, that's coming at the end.
Man, no, trust me, when I'm saying he's right. I'm not sure how many people, to be honest, me including, would found this as a solution for that entrance. Probably I would have given up, or I would have used something else, which might be was going to look bad, or God knows. Probably I was using some metal beams, but I don't think I would have had the patience to do that.
I don't know if it was really being creative as much as it was like just browsing through the props and being like, oh, that kind of looks like the same thing I'm trying to build. Like if I just turn this blue, like that's almost the same thing, So I think I just got lucky, to be honest, with that. But you did see me, if you noticed it off to the side, the color got a little bit more teal than it was originally. I was changing the color a couple times throughout this to get like a little bit closer to how it looks on Google Maps, because I think it was a little blue to start off with. So now you're seeing me kind of like detail up this construction site underneath this. And I'd imagine in actual Paris, this is not a construction site anymore. It's just like one of those things that when they took the Google Maps photos, it was a construction site, and now it's like all finished. But I feel like
it's good.
I never think to do construction sites when I'm building things. And so like this was like, looking at Google Maps and seeing that there's a construction site there. It's like, oh, maybe that's something that actually exists in real cities, and I should build it. So that's kind of what I did. That street, that goes into that little area with all those props.
Yeah.
What I did do is that's connected into this entire train station, so that all these buildings in here have road access. So sometimes you'll see cars like drive through that wall there, which they're not really supposed to do, but they do because they're trying to get to like some of those buildings that they can't get to otherwise, So that's a little trick that I do a lot of times, is like I'll find a way to get a road into some random little place in like kind of a cheat way, so that the buildings that are like in weird spots can still have like a road, that connects to them. People aren't like dying in there and not getting picked up.
Yeah. Unless there is a helicopter or something.
Yeah, exactly.
About what you said about Google Earth and the changes that probably were done later. I kind of, when I use Google Earth to get inspiration, or to, let's not say copy a specific area, but when I do that as well, I'm trying to use Google Earth. I don't want to go to the ground level and see, hey, is this still here? Are they still building this, or God knows what? For instance, in Little France, I did, and now I'm going to butcher it in French, Place de la Bastille, hopefully I said it right, which is a big, it was actually a big roundabout there with the statue, a column.
Oh yes,
with the
I remember
yeah.
this.
Well, Google Earth was updated eventually, and when I was looking now, like a few weeks ago, that's not there anymore. There is totally, there is no roundabout anymore there. they did something to cover it up. It's a construction site there, but from what I see and the way the things look like now, there will not be a roundabout anymore. They will fill in the area.
They totally changed the roads there.
Yeah.
I actually saw it on Google Maps because it's very close to this place that I'm building.
Yeah. So it's completely changed now. Well, I was even thinking to do the same, but I am not going to, because mine will be a tiny bit different, even though my entire build there was not supposed to look exactly like Place de la Bastille. Anyways.
No, it's cool. It's like a little slice of history. Like, we remember how it was, something like that. Oh, yeah.
If you want to remember how it was, watch that episode.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it should be. I love these little bicycle, Japanese bicycle stands. They're super cool.
This particular one that you're seeing me build now, in the real place, it's like a little parking spot for scooters. And I was even like looking on the workshop to find like little motorcycles or scooters or things like that. And there's none on the workshop. I was like, what? How is that possible? There's like 10,000 parked cars and not one parked motorcycle. What is that? So I went with bicycles.
But there are three or four type of motor scooters.
There are? I couldn't find any when I looked. I guess I didn't spend too long looking.
And I think I have some of them already. I have them, I think.
Oh my god, that's embarrassing.
I think I subscribed to some of them because I was using them in the first episodes.
Well, that's about it for this episode, Skib.
Oh, already? Cool.
Yeah, it's only been like 30 minutes.
Oh my. Well, buddy, thank you so much for doing this. It was absolutely amazing. Your build is amazing, and I'm glad actually you turned to make like 2 episodes instead of 1, because your build was quite huge.
Yeah, it really was. I was surprised with how much footage was ended up in this. There's a lot of time lapse, so I'm excited to do the other half of it as well, because there's some fun stuff that happens there too.
Cool. Thank you so much, buddy. And well, guys, everyone, thanks for watching, and probably we will see each other in the next episode by our friend Citywokcitywall.
I salute you.
I salute you.